How's it going, guys? It's your boy CanDoKen, and welcome back to another Genshin video. Today we're just going to talk about the 4.1 update. It hasn't dropped yet, but the Genshin Live special program dropped, and they showed who's going to be on our upcoming banners for that patch. And this video, we're just going to talk about whether or not these characters are good for you to pull on your account specifically. And we're also going to talk about some future weapons that should be dropping on both of these upcoming banners. So let's just get right into it. Our first two characters on the 4.1 update are going to be Neuvelette and Hu Tao, both of which are lined up to be, Hu Tao, we already know the strength of Hu Tao. I got Hu Tao and her signature weapon, and yes, she is strong, but I usually have to run her in double hydro with Xingqiu and Yelan. I recently started running her in Burgeon with it'll either be Xingqiu or Yelan with Nahida and Cookie. So it's a Burgeon Hyper Bloom team. That's been performing pretty well, but that's not even her intended use. But that is the strongest, most consistent team I was able to make with her that could clear the Abyss. She struggles hard with clearing hard Abyss content, and that's not what I fell for the hype train. I saw all the videos of her one-shotting bosses and nuking the Geo dog. She was just doing all this incredible stuff. I pulled her C1 and the weapon, and it's just not like that. It's not like the videos. Don't fall for the hype. I would say if you truly love these characters, this isn't the video for you, honestly, because I pull I love characters, and I learned to love characters that I originally didn't appreciate too much. But for me, I sort of almost like all of the Genshin characters sort of equally. I have favorites. I love Raiden, but if I knew then what I know now, I would not have pulled her. Take that as you will. Just don't fall for the hype on Hu Tao. The weapon's great. Homa, amazing weapon. Universally, just a GOAT weapon. You could put it on Raiden, Zhongli, anyone who needs a pole arm and they need to do damage, you put that on them, they're doing the damage. It's a good weapon. Really good. I don't regret Staff of Homa. If your account is lacking 5-star weapons, I wouldn't say pull on this banner, except there is a caveat. And whether or not this is the case, you might still want to try pulling on the banner to see if you can maybe get a Homa if you're lacking a 5-star staff. So for Neuvelette, who is a 5-star hyper carry hydro DPS character, he is lined up to have incredible strength. I've heard a lot of his strength is locked behind his signature weapon. I don't think that that's changed to this day, but he is still very, very strong. Apparently his scalings are crazy, and the only caveat with him is they sort of locked away a crucial part of his kit, because he does let me see if I can find it. As you're getting ready to see, if you do his charge attack, you hold click, he'll float up in this form and he'll shoot a Kamehameha, which is raw. That is so sick. That is so sick. Truly insane. GOAT character. I promise you, he is going to be I don't think we have any hydro hyper carries yet, so he's lined up to do something we don't have in Genshin yet at this point. He's gonna be fire. I promise you, he'll be strong for sure. He's an AoE as well, because the beam can hit multiple targets, so he's lined up to be our first AoE hydro true hyper carry character. The caveat is when he's floating up in this form here, he does not have resistance to interruption, so you're sort of limited in how you can build him, because he'll need to be run with the shielder. And I know the Genshin community, I don't know what it is, y'all hate shielders. You need to get over yourselves. Dodging, you can only dodge twice rapidly. There's not enough dodges in the world to get away with this this movement. You can see he floats up and you can move, but I mean, realistically, the boss monsters do so much. Like, they move so fast. Even like, imagine the floors with the consecrated beasts, right? You have the consecrated beasts chasing after you, flipping all over the battlefield. You're not avoiding that in that form. You literally don't have resistance to interruption. Like, it's not like, oh, you have slight. No, you have none. If you don't have C1 or a shield, you have none. You're getting knocked out of this, and when you get knocked out of it or end his charge attack early, you lose the stacks. You lost them. They're gone. So like, you need to get your rotations right, and from a meta perspective, you're foolish to not run a shielder. You need the resistance to interruption. You need it. And I feel if you just wait for Hydro Archon, which is gonna be the gist of this entire video, I feel if you just hold on to your gems and you wait for Hydro Archon, we'll get supports that can support these new Fontaine characters and their HP drain, HP loss mechanics. I feel like you just gotta hold on. Yes, he's cool. He will get a rerun. And right now, if you save enough gems, if you just save from now to Hydro Archon release, you can possibly guarantee at least one copy of Hydro Archon, guaranteed. I've been saving since like the last update, and I'm already at 33,000 Primo gems saved. I'm planning on getting her C2 if it's broken, and the weapon if it's really good. And by saving early, because I see a lot of the Genshin community has problems with saving, right? Like, they don't know what saving means. Saving is not waiting for her banner to pop up and then start posting on HoYoLab, oh, saving for Hydro Archon. That's not saving. You are just a procrastinator. Like, saving is thinking about your future investment. Like, I know Hydro Archon's going to come, and I need the Primo gems now. Like, I need to start saving ahead of time, so when it comes time to get her, I'm not behind the 8 ball. I'm not missing my pity. And now that I lost the 50-50, all I had was 40 pulls, and now I gotta go find ways to farm and do old content and struggle for every event. And now I'm mad that I didn't do the last events. Like, no, save now, because I have a strong feeling that the Hydro Archon is going to be absolutely insane. I have a speculation video I'm planning on making regarding her kit that I believe could be true, but save now, because I promise you will regret it if she comes around and you pull these characters and you can't use them correctly. And that goes for the next character we're going to talk about as well. I think his name is Wriothesly. I forget how they said it in the trailer, but we have Wriothesly and Venti. Okay, now from what I've seen, I've had premonitions of this new character, and in my premonitions, he's all right. He's not Ayaka. I think for the long haul, Ayaka will be the queen of freeze teams. All right. And usually when you build her for freeze. The cool thing about him is, I believe with minor artifact swap outs, you can play him in melt and freeze, which is cool. He doesn't do monstrous damage, but he gets the job done. We'll have to see when he comes out as to whether or not he has like abyss viability, you know? But from what I've seen, he's cool. He punches with his dukes, like the Duke could be using his dukes on people. Like, he's cool. He's definitely cool. I think he runs the prison or something like that. Cool character. Definitely cool. Probably decent strength. Honestly, in my opinion, I say that's a hard skip. I had to learn this the hard way, as some of you probably will. You probably won't listen. But support characters run the game, which leads me to our last character on the second phase banners, is Venti. Now listen, I am 100% of the party that Kazuha is the actual Anemo Archon. I 100% believe that Kazuha power crept Venti, and Venti doesn't have nearly as much utility or strength as Kazuha. But I will say this, in the Abyss, when there are enemies that can be vortexed by Venti's black hole, he does the job. If you're trying to do 9 through 3, usually it's fodder enemies that Venti can CC with this black hole, and you will need it depending on your characters. If your account is still coming up, it's still being built, Venti and the CC that he provides can group the enemies just enough where like your underdeveloped characters don't have to chase them down, and you don't lose opportunities to do DPS because the enemies were too spaced out or they didn't hold the full extent of your rotation. Venti does work. He does work, and you build him with the Viridescent set, and he will reduce enemy resistance against the elements that you swirl. And people don't usually talk about it, but it does need to be talked about. Depending on what you swirl, Venti does restore energy to the swirled element once his burst ends, which is really good. If you need CC, you need Viridescent, you need Animo, you need grouping, you need energy, Venti can do the job. He's just not optimal in every scenario. For instance, if you're fighting a boss enemy and you hit him with the black hole, the boss won't be pulled. He will get his resistance shredded from the Viridescent set, but he won't be pulled in, he won't be moved, he'll still come at you. You will get your energy still though. The difference is when Kazuha does it, Kazuha equally can't CC a boss, but he gets his resistance shred. Kazuha gives you a 40% damage bonus on every element that got swirled in that amount of time. His burst is stationary, but it's a wide like AoE. It's hard to miss all of his skills. Kazuha's just better. But that's not to say Venti is useless. I wouldn't recommend pulling the weapon, but if your account is coming up, you're still building, you don't have Kazuha, you don't have Venti, you still need grouping, get Venti. Out of everyone we have here, Venti is like a solid pick for people who are building their accounts, people who are trying to conquer the abyss, people who just need CC. Or people who just need more supporting characters on teams. All of these other characters are all main DPSs, and main DPSs come and go. But if you're building accounts, out of all 4 of these characters, I would say pull Venti. And here we go on to the next topic of discussion, which is the weapons that are going to be on these banners. So these are the 4 weapons that were announced on the live stream. I believe from my premonition that the Attack on Titan Blade and I think this Claymore right here are HP scaling weapons, and we have a lot of units in the game that don't have weapons because there are no HP swords. There are no like, I don't know if we have HP. Yeah, we have HP catalysts. I don't know if we have HP bows. I'm pretty sure these are all HP scaling weapons, which is really seriously good because now your Nilou can have a weapon, your Kirara can have a weapon, Dia can have a weapon. Characters who were lacking HP scaling 4-star options now have options, and I'm so excited for that. I would say trying, at least attempting to pull for one of these weapons, if you play any of those characters, is probably worth your time. I think Nilou can see a massive increase in DPS from having a proper HP scaling option. Just like, because she scales off HP for her damage. This is great for her. Probably not the most attractive on her specifically, but maybe, you level it up. Maybe Chlorend has an HP scaling like stat or something. I know she's Electro, but Chlorend might have an HP something stat that increases damage. So you can use this sword on her. I think it would look really nice on her, by the way. I would say go for these if you find them on the banner, especially if they're with a weapon that you want to try for. I would say definitely don't miss out on these weapons for sure. Long story short, I would say pick Venti if you're gonna pick anything and you're building an account that needs supports. Venti is your real only like option here, and save now for Focalors or Furina or whatever you call her, because I have a feeling she's going to be nutty, she's going to be busted, she's going to be broken, and if you miss out, I feel bad for you. I feel bad for you because that character is probably slated to be like a GOAT. I have a feeling she's gonna be an off-field DPS who like does something nutty with the burst. I get the feeling. So save. Don't fall for the trap of thinking that like when the banner's here you can start saving. That's not saving, that's procrastinating. All right, until the next video, guys, peace.